Jim Norton is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of Sirius XM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now, 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to the show. Those of you who are listening, I appreciate you tuning in and giving this show a shot if you've never heard it before. I got the big news tonight, or today, is I got a new cough button. You know, because obviously I clear my throat a lot. It's something that I eat. It might be the caffeine. It makes, it's creepy. It's like a pedophile on the stand about to answer a question. Did you know she was 11? Your Honor, I did not. It's a fucking gross sound. So I got a cough button last week, but then I see Don today, and he tells me that it was clicking. So if it clicks this time, I apologize. We're working on it. He probably just gave me back the same one I had last time it didn't work, just to see if it was my idiocy. And I almost couldn't hook it up properly. It took fucking 10 minutes to realize I was talking without it being plugged in. I truly am an idiot. And today I came home. I had a pretty responsible day so far. I always feel good when I have a responsible day, like when I don't just come home and jerk off and act like a creep. I like when my day is responsible and filled with being a good boy. And this is how OCD and stupid I am. As I'm talking right now, I'm leaning over in my living room. There's a little shelf, and there was a piece of paper sticking out of it. I had to close it. Like it just had to be closed. So I have mental difficulties. Hello, Bryce in Dallas. What's up?
Looking forward to the tour. I'll be seeing you in Austin, Texas.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think my second time there. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Hey, I've always been kind of fascinated by your just like perverted childhood, and that video you tweeted of Gilbert talking about Monster Rain.
Yeah.
I have to I always wondered, every time your parents have come up, they've always been described as very normal and sweet. So how did you just turn into such a little monster? Do
you mean like a little monster, like a Lady Gaga monster? Her music did that. Do you mean like a little pervert creep? Half a fruit? I don't know. It's certainly not my parents' fault. I mean, they were pretty nice, normal people, very loving, supportive environment. Not perfect, but certainly, not the cause of any of my real woes that I can think of. I don't know.
Was it like that? Oh, sorry.
I know, that's okay. I think that sometimes environmentally, you're just out there and boys and girls are doing things, and when you do it, it feels good. I don't know what started the ball rolling, to be perfectly honest, but, again, 1975, a lot different than today. We were just running around like a bunch of creeps doing what we wanted to do. We were supervised, but it wasn't as obsessive with supervision as they are today. So maybe we just had more time. But I don't know exactly what started that ball rolling. But again, there was a bunch of us doing it. It wasn't just me. It wasn't like, I was, 15 and they were all 3. We were all the same age, first, second graders together.
So there was no traumatic event that you recall, or just anything just weird that sticks out in your mind that
No, maybe not at all, dude. Honestly, no. I would tell you if I did. I really cannot think of anything traumatic.
Wow, fascinating. Okay, man, cool. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I wish I had a better answer for that. People ask me that sometimes, what happened that you are the way you are? And I just don't know. I don't have any particular, I don't have any kind of particular thing to go to. John in Jersey. What's up, John?
Hey, boy, I'll see you in March in New Jersey in the Cal Pacey, man. I was lucky enough to get tickets.
Thank you very much.
Hey, man, I have a question. I know you speak about your interactions with different male porn stars like Ron Jeremy and so on and so forth. But the question I have to you, you got someone like Peter North that can shoot really big loads, and I don't know if they ever share those secrets with you as far as improving your overall sex life.
No, Peter North's loads, which if you don't know who he is, he's an old school guy. He still looks pretty good. I've seen him in the last few years. He still looks like he's an in shape, guy. He probably still bangs a lot of girls, but his loads were legendary. The guy was in perfect physical shape. He looked like an underwear model. And he had a big dick, and he would literally shoot 14 gallons of cum. And I don't know what that is. Like, I don't, he's been asked about it. He gave all these weird supplement answers, and I'm imagining he had endorsements for supplements. But I don't know if there's a genuine answer, if it's anything he took or his diet. Because don't forget, that's a muscle contraction thing, too, how far you can shoot. So I don't know what it is that gave Peter North the loads he had. I would love to know. Even if I wasn't with a girl, I would love to just jerk off on myself with that kind of load. It would be so nice. Like, what a feeling of accomplishment. So, no, I've never gotten any advice from any porn stars.
Well, I know shaving your nuts obviously makes your cock look bigger, and I understand that element of it. But I guess no techniques that would pleasure a woman better, different positions or whatnot.
No, I mean, look, unless you're Nacho Vidal and you can fuck, like, if you have a 10-inch dick and you can fuck for a long time, that's one thing. But if you're a regular guy, like, most of us are, it's experimental. Like, I find that, like a lot of women like their pussies licked lightly. Like, you can't lick the clit too hard because the pressure drives them crazy. The last time I went down on a girl, she said to me, "Why did you lick my pussy so light?" I could hardly feel. It's almost like there's no right answer to it. It's a learned thing. So with that girl, then I learned, okay, she likes her pussy licked harder. Some women want to be spanked. Some women want you to spank them really lightly. Some women don't want to be spanked. Some women want their nipples pinched really hard and bitten. Others don't. There's no right way to do it. You know what I mean? Right. Some women will tell you, like, "Oh my God, I like a guy who can fucking pound my pussy through to the basement." I am, first of all, not that guy. And a lot of women go, "After 20 minutes, I'm finished, pal. Just come and let's wrap this shit up." So every woman is different. You can't take what you see in pornography, which is a visual medium, and make it like in real life what's going to feel good. Because in porn, dude, they'll fuck where a guy is sitting on a sofa and a girl is straddling him, getting her ass fucked with her feet balancing on his knees, and he's holding her ass cheeks, and you can see everything and it looks really good, but there's no way that feels as comfortable as just regular fucking.
Right.
So,
it's funny, a lot of the women would say their number one position is either missionary or doggy style. And it's a plain basic position.
Yeah. What I would suggest is this. I would suggest that you should just listen when a woman tells you something. Like, it sounds really corny, but girls will kind of tell you what they want. And I've always found that by listening or just kind of, paying attention to how their bodies respond helps me figure a woman out. But you have to be willing to talk about it after. Not in the moment necessarily, but, learn a little bit about her before you fuck her. Like, don't just try choking somebody if you don't know if they like it. Make sure that you talk about it. And our next caller, so I'm gonna let you go because Jim in Jersey has intel on Peter North. That's the beauty of this show. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Hey, Jim.
Hey, love the show, man. Thanks very much.
Thank you, pal.
Yeah, real quick, I heard you talking, and it's something that's been discussed between myself and my colleague a couple of times. He actually found out about it, so I can't say where he got the information. But apparently, Peter claims that celery is the solution that you seek.
Really? I've never heard that before. I've taken asparagus just to make my piss smell worse as a punishment for people. But, no, wow, I've never heard that. Celery.
There you go. So pick up a couple of heads of celery and choke them down and choke something else. You'll be all set.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, bro.
Hey, Jared in Washington. What's up, buddy?
Jim, how are you doing?
Cool. How are you?
Hey, I just had a quick question. You're such a big fan of the UFC and always get the hookups from Dana and Joe and stuff like that. But lately it seems after all these big fights or before the big fight, you used to get in all the big fighters and Ronda Rousey and et cetera. But it seems that they haven't been coming on the show as of late. And I just wanted a little insight on that if you had any to give.
There really isn't any. We did get Ronda for her book. When Rhonda was doing her book, she came in, and UFC, they're very good to us. I've actually petitioned to get Conor McGregor on the show, but he hasn't been in New York, or he hasn't been doing radio in New York. But I'm sure that we would get Conor McGregor. At one point last year, we were offered Jose Aldo. I actually, as much as I love Jose Aldo and was heartbreaking to see him lose, said no, because it's hard to interview a Brazilian fighter with such little English skill. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard. Like, Anderson Silva can at least, have a conversation. But I can't think of anybody that we want that we haven't gotten. Like, I'd love to talk to Cowboy Cerrone, but I don't know if he's been in New York recently. Dana hasn't really been in New York much doing press. And when he is, and when he's doing radio, he certainly comes on. Rogan comes on when he's in New York. Bruce Buffer, I'd love to get on again, but Bruce just isn't in New York very often. I can't think of anyone we haven't gotten that we've wanted. Don't forget, John Jones, I don't think has done any press since his whole incident. So I really can't think of anyone. Chris Weidman we've had a few times. Matt Serra I just bumped into and was telling me how much he enjoyed doing the show. And he's also, asking me about Anthony. He's a big Anthony fan. So I think that we could pretty much get whoever's in New York that we want that's doing radio. I think we could get them.
Yeah, I would love to see Connor on there, and then thought maybe Holly would have done the show when she was making the rounds first off.
Oh, you know what? Did she even come to New York? I didn't even hear that she was in New York.
Where do they do Seth Meyers' show? Does he film that in New York? Or
he does. Yeah, maybe she was here and I didn't know it, or maybe she wasn't doing morning radio. But I would love to talk to Holly. I met her briefly there, and she was lovely. And her and Connor more than anybody, I'd like to get on.
Yeah,
right.
She on the show would be great. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it.
Thanks, pal. Take care. Miami, in California. I'm sorry, Mimi. What's up, Mimi?
Hi, Jim. How
Hi,
are
Mimi.
you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. Thank you. I have a question about, I maybe just need a little advice. Okay. My brother has recently come out to me and my mother that he's transgender.
I don't know him. No, okay, I'm sorry.
He'd probably like to meet you. But anyways, he's only part-time transgender because he really is afraid to come out to my father.
Okay.
So I don't know if I can. I don't want to break my brother's confidence, but I think he's very unhappy being a man. So I don't know if you know anybody or if you have any advice to give on how to help him maybe break the news to my father. My father's really conservative, and I don't know. It might be ugly.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. That's something I'm not really qualified because I've never experienced it. I mean, I don't know. And I don't know enough people who have come out as transgender, what their process was. I know people who have come out as gay, and I guess the only advice I would give is you have to weigh how important is your dad's response if you're your brother. Like, for instance, if your brother wants to be happy and is truly trans, hey, fuck it, man. You just got to say, look, if people aren't going to accept me, they can go fuck themselves. But, as many as the lovely transsexuals as I've spoken to, so many of them have said that there's always one person in the family who won't call them by their preferred name, who will always say, hey Juan, or whatever their fucking boy name was, or won't accept it. And eventually you have to just write that person out of your life until they decide to accept you. And they may never, or they may. But I don't think you can make your happiness contingent on somebody else saying, thumbs up for you. But again, I can't say it's that simple either. It's got to be fucking hard to, if you value your father's opinion, to know that he might say, get out of here, you homo. Like, that's a tough thing to hear from your father, I'm sure.
Yeah. And, I just want my brother to be happy. And he's not one of those people that, it demands that we all call him. He's very, we slip. I mean, people slip and you call him by his boy name.
Sure.
So, okay, well, thank you so much.
My only suggestion would be do not break his confidence to your father. I don't think that's your place to do that, and I think that would be a terrible breach.
You're absolutely right about that.
You might want to tweet it. You might want to tweet it in mockery, but don't go to you should keep his confidence on that, okay?
Okay, thanks, Jim. Bye.
All right, good luck, Mimi. Let's see here. Good question. Chris in the UK. What's up, Chris?
I'm a 24-year-old just come out of uni, and I'm kind of down on my luck at the minute. I can't get a job and stuff. I've just started stand-up, and I'm just kind of wondering how you coped at my age.
You just started stand-up, you said?
Yeah, I've just started doing stand-up.
All right.
And, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I did a gig, my third ever gig, at a packed show. It was like 400 seats, and I kind of got, froze on stage and stuff, and totally bombed and stuff, and they didn't invite me back.
Well, that happens, buddy. That's part of that is the path you've chosen. Get used to it. That's going to happen. And the beauty is that's as bad as it's going to be. Hey, you survived it. You're on the phone with me right now. Your fucking feet didn't fall off. It's what everybody is afraid. The only reason, dude, that there's not 300,000 comedians is because of the experience you just described. People are so scared of that deadly silence, of that exposure, of that humiliation. And you know what? It's embarrassing, and then you get used to it. And all of a sudden, it's just a part of your job that you don't like, and it happens. So congratulations on surviving it and still being willing to do it again. And you're going to face that again and again and again, and it's okay. It's okay. You learn how to handle it. And, the question about how did I cope and all that stuff, look, I lived at home till I was 30, which helped a lot. But if you're pursuing a dream, just realize there's going to be some great moments, and some shit ones, but that's the way it kind of has to be,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get that. Thanks for the advice anyway.
Yeah, good luck, man. Really, good luck to you.
All right, dude. Thanks, bye.
Okay, buddy. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second. I am looking for the fucking document. How about John in Jersey has some follow-up. Oh, no. I hope this went well. What's up, John?
Oh, it just went peachy. How you doing, Jim?
Good, pal. How are you?
Good. So I called last week about texting another girl and changing my password on my phone and all that. So I'm in my car driving my girlfriend, and I'm listening to OB Accelerated. Suddenly, our interview, or when I called in, pops up on OB Radio. And I'm oh, no. And it's like, oh, John from Jersey, and I couldn't hit it quicker. And she's like, why'd you change it? I was like, oh, I heard that already. And she didn't put one and one together, so I was just like, thank God. Yeah. I almost got,
Yeah, you almost caught a bunch of shit. Now I hope this is on whatever it's called, Accelerated, because now she'll have to hear this and go, I knew that was you piece of garbage. So you should probably, disguise your voice when you're calling or something like that. But so nothing bad happened.
Nope. And I gotta say, on Twitter, you're an alcoholic. That was the best.
Which one was that? Oh, Edgar telling Jen, you're drinking. Yeah, I really love and she really was embarrassed too. I got her a few times with that. Like she'd be at the bar. Oh, you're not getting liquor again, are you? And she's like so humiliated. But I'm glad you didn't get in trouble, buddy. All right?
Yep. See you in Montclair.
All right, pal. Let's see here. Brandon in New York. What's up, pal?
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
Good. How are you?
I'm calling kind of the position as John in the UK. I'm new to stand up. I'm doing it in the city right now, and I just don't know how much to or what to write about. I'm not sure. That's my question.
Well, you what do you want to talk about as a comedian? There is no what you should write about. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I guess the obvious thing would be myself, but I don't know. I'm not very interesting. I'm kind of just pulling ideas out of there. Some are working. When you were starting, how often did you do new material at an open mic?
When I first started, not very often, because I didn't have enough confidence in my own thoughts or my own feelings or my own sensibilities with humor. But as time went on, I started to do more and more. And radio has helped me as a comedian and hurt me. It's helped me in the fact that I'm talking about different things every day. So it keeps your mind constantly going. And it forces you to write new material because you're just thinking about new things and formulating new ideas. But my act has become very, very topical. And the reason is because I get so bored so fast with material. And this is it's like I'm just talking about it every day and it just begins to formulate my opinions. And, the act becomes extremely topical because it's boring for me just to talk about the other stuff. So it's helped and it's hurt in a really weird way. So I turn over material about once a year. In the beginning, you're not going to be able to do that, but I would say you just do it until you're sick of doing it. But you should do it until you have a completely, solid, set that you can go out and tour with. But I don't know what to tell you to write about, man. You should be figuring out that for yourself, like what you want to talk about. What do you like to talk about? What makes you feel like, hey, I'm funny? You know, what do I talk about that makes me feel funny?
Yeah. All right, that's good advice.
All right.
All right, appreciate it.
Good luck, man. Let's see here. Eric in Georgia.
Great to talk to you, man. I love your advice. I don't know. I don't really have anybody else to lay this on because it's kind of a touchy situation. I have a 15-year-old daughter. About 7 or 8 years ago, we moved in with my in-laws. Both of them pretty stand-up people. The mom, really get along with her. Everything's great. The dad, like my own father. Well, within the last month, I found out that he inappropriately touched her.
Now, when you say inappropriately touched her, do you mean that while he was hugging her, he patted her on the ass, or he did something more, like that was overtly sexual?
It was more sexual. And this is out of the blue. This is a guy that you would never suspect would do something like that. And it's a really kind of shitty situation because he's got other kids. They all look up to him. He's like kind of the patriarch of the family. And my daughter had kept this to her. Well, my wife was made aware right away. My daughter, who's 7 years old, is a fucking warrior.
Wait, how old was she when this happened?
7 years old. And
okay.
She was 7 or 8, and like I said, we were living with them. And I guess we were out at one point, and they were watching her, and I guess he felt like that was the time. I think it happened. I don't know if it happened more than once, but I believe that at one point, like she was aware that it wasn't right, and she confronted him. Just told him, "You need to stop." And he kind of gave her the, okay, whatever, right? Like now he knew he was busted. And again, I've just been made aware, and I guess they kept it from me because they were afraid of how I'd react. I'm not a violent guy, and I'm not going to go beat him up. I just want to know why.
Wait, let me ask you a question. So, has your daughter been around him all these years?
Yes, and that's what freaks me out, because here I am giving this dude hugs and acting like, hey, buddy, I'm helping him all around the house, and, just being, like, not, and my daughter had to see this. She's always been very distant with him, and I've never noticed it, never, until I was made aware, and then I realized, wow.
How were you made aware?
Well, my daughter's 15, so she goes through, she's going through what every typical 15-year-old goes through with the melodrama and all that.
Sure.
Apparently, I guess she and my wife had a like an argument or disagreement, and she brought it up to her that, okay, well, I'm going to tell Dad what happened.
And what did your wife say?
Well, that's when I was made aware of the whole situation, because I guess she figured I'd better, come clean and lay this all out on the table, because otherwise, it's going to come out the wrong way. So, my initial reaction, I want to confront the guy. But, and again, here I am, I'm replaying everything in my head, like, what? So, this whole time, you're letting me act like this guy's, a stand-up guy, and everything's great, and I'm helping him around the house, and then again, all the things that I said, and letting me do that when, now...
That's awful. Yeah, that's awful. That's awful that your wife did that. First of all, it's awful he did that. But then all of a sudden for your wife, because what that does is that she's making a decision, like, okay, this fucking creep touched our 7-year-old inappropriately, and then she's making the decision for both of you that the kid can still be around him. Like, it's like she basically, instead of saying to you, what do we do from here? She made a fucking judgment call, like, nah, you know what? My daughter will be okay around this guy, and I'm not going to ask my husband's opinion.
They discussed it. My daughter, it's a strange situation. It's because I guess the whole reason that it was kept under wraps for this long is that the mother is an awesome, she's awesome. If she found out, everything would change. Everything.
Well, let me ask you, why is everyone, or why is the daughter protecting the father from the reaction for touching a 7-year-old? Like, why is she so afraid of the apple cart being upset that she wouldn't fucking tell you, hey, my 7-year-old was touched? Like, I'm not saying, like, I don't know what the guy did exactly, or is it 100%, whatever. But how the fuck is that not brought to your attention for all these years?
I don't. That's my question. And here's the other thing. I want to go confront the guy. I want to, because I don't know if he's done this before to other people.
Absolutely. Did he ever do it to your wife when she was a kid?
That's what I wonder. And if he did, she doesn't remember it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe she blocked it out. I don't know, but she doesn't act like a person that had ever had that happen. And of course I'm not an expert, but I just don't know. And so I'd like to approach it in a way where he doesn't feel threatened, where maybe he will open up, maybe he will admit maybe this is something that he has a problem with, or because I'm not the guy that goes and beats up and kills and whatever. You know,
it's not like but I don't. You know, again, that's a tough question because I would say you have to say something to him. You have to. But again, I don't know. Do you go and confront him and then maybe all of a sudden you get angrier than you think if he's cunty about it? I don't know. But you should definitely give your daughter the option of not being around him anymore.
Oh, well, she has that option, and I made it clear. I said, listen, you know, now that I've been made aware, first of all, I'm sorry. You know, I had no idea. If I had known, then things would be a whole lot different. I don't know how I would have reacted back then initially, but you know, and since then she's forgiven him. Like, you know, basically, it's just like I don't want anything to do with him. But I don't think she wants him arrested or you know, any kind of.
What do you want too?
Here's what I want. First of all, I want to protect my mother-in-law. I don't think she can handle that kind of news. I don't know that she could, you know, physically handle that kind of news. I don't know that the rest of the family could handle that kind of news. And he's getting really old and he's showing a few signs of Alzheimer's. You know, these things where I'm afraid that if I confront him now that he's going to be, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, maybe he will. Maybe he will. But it seems like everybody is worried about protecting everyone from having an appropriately shitty or angry reaction to a guy who touched a 7-year-old. I'm not saying that without real proof you should pull him out in the street and beat him to death. I don't mean that. But everyone is worried about how, the mother won't feel good. It's like everyone is walking on these fucking, these little eggshells worried about protecting a guy who might have touched a child. Like, it's like, who cares how people react? You know what I mean? It's not like, it's like if the mother reacts angrily, okay, fine. If he's upset by it, too fucking bad. The bottom line is your wife put you in this position by not telling you for 7 years.
Right.
So that's I don't know exactly what this, I'm not saying go over there right now, but I do think that you should let him know that you've been made aware.
Here's the other thing is, it almost seems like he knows that I know now because, again, you know, trying to keep up appearances for the mom. I'm not overly affectionate, but I do at least acknowledge him as a human being. And he seems like he kind of knows, like the jig is up, like he's about to, you know.
But let me ask you, why keep up appearances for the mom? Like, the mom, she might get upset.
Yeah.
Why keep up appearances?
I don't know. It's a situation that this is unfamiliar territory. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. I understand, dude. But you see what happened? And again, I'm certainly not an expert on this, but it's just like, look what happens. He fucks up and does something shitty and a breach of trust, a total breach of trust that luckily she at least told your mom. I mean, her mom and your wife. And hopefully it didn't go any further. So maybe, you know, it stopped it right there. but he's probably feeling it out to see how far he could go. So if he did that, it's a big if he did this and he breached your trust, the kid's trust, and yet everyone is still worried about reactions to him. It's fucking ridiculous.
I agree. I do agree, and I'm afraid how I don't know. I mean, my relationship with my wife, it's solid. We've been married for 23 years.
Okay, maybe she just fucked up and didn't tell you. Maybe she didn't know what to do. It's her dad, but maybe somebody will tell you. You should seek another opinion besides mine, obviously. But if you're not going to confront him, maybe you call him so you're not tempted to punch him, or you write him an email.
No, I'm definitely going to sit him down, and but again, I want the truth, and I want the whole truth. I want to know. I don't want him to feel like he's threatened, so he's going to clam up. I need to know, because
he's probably going to clam up, dude. He's probably, no matter how nicely you phrase it, it's the 7-year-old's word who said it a long time ago against. He is probably going to clam up and say she's wrong. That's my guess. Your advice is solid. I listen to you all the time, and maybe just be prepared. Maybe just be prepared for the fact that he's going to clam up, and all you can do is just tell him that you know. I mean, I don't know if you can do anything legally, but all you can do is tell him that you are aware. Okay, I got to run, buddy. We got a bunch of calls, but that's definitely a dilemma. Okay.
Thank you, and good luck with your shows, man. You don't need it, but you're awesome.
Okay, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you for your call. Let's see here. John in Manhattan. What's up, John?
Big fan.
Thank you so much. How are you?
First off, I wanted to say thank you for putting me on to Whole30. I'm down 83 pounds in 4 months.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Good for you, man.
Thanks, man.
Have you done it for 4 months?
I've done it for yes, I've done it for 4 months. I had my first cheat, which was a piece of crumbled blue cheese that slipped into a salad.
That's okay.
Yeah, but no, I've been going at it 4 months, and really, thanks. I appreciate it, even though you didn't know you did it.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that, buddy.
Thank you. So, next question. The day after the Opie fight, did you happen to catch Anthony's broadcast? And if so, to this day, I laugh hysterically to myself on the way he opened up that show.
Well, I don't remember how he opened it up. Oh, was he playing movie clips?
Yeah, he played Ray Liotta in the shower.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a funny opening. I mean, hey, look, like I've said many times before, man, those guys, people say like I'm like the kid in the middle of a divorce. In a way, it's like I won't, like, no matter what Anthony says about Opie, I will go on Anthony's show. And honestly, if Opie attacked Anthony and badmouthed him and said horrible shit about him, I would not walk off the air. And I wouldn't tell Opie, shut up, don't say that. I really wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, those guys react to each other however they react to each other. And I can't be a codependent fixer slob. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to have that kind of shit relationship. I don't. I honestly don't, man. I really want them to sit down and talk. Whether that ever happens, I don't know. But I will not be a codependent, like, oh, it's okay, Opie. Oh, come on, Aunt. Don't say that. I just won't do it. So, I mean, Anthony is free to say whatever he wants. I did laugh at that opening. It was very funny. There was another clip he played, too.
It's hysterical. But I think the bottom line is wherever you go, you seem to make the show. So keep up the good work and don't let either side discourage you.
Thank you. No, I won't. And I don't feel like either one wants to. Again, I think it's different with Opie because I am in that studio with him every day. So we are spending hours of time together, fucking 12, 15 hours a week. And with Ant, it's a different energy because I'm going over there once every 2 weeks or once a week. I'm actually might be going on tomorrow, but I just got a shoot switched. I'm supposed to shoot early January, and I'm shooting tomorrow, but they said I will be wrapped by 3. So I may be on Ant's show tomorrow. But thank you for the call, buddy.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right, big kiss. Let's see here. Oh, very important. Lewis in Oklahoma. What's up, Lou? How are you?
Hey, I've been with my wife for 16 years, and I'm trying to how do you talk to her about wanting your wife to peg you?
Wow, good question. What is she like sexually? Like, personally, what I would do is I would say, do you know what would be really fun? And if she says, what? Why don't you strap on a dick and put it where the shit comes out? And she'd go, what? I'd go, I'm just kidding. But no, what is she like sexually? Is she conservative? Is she pretty liberal, open-minded?
She's conservative, straightforward, religious thing. And anytime I try to bring up anal, she's like, no, that ain't going to happen. No.
Will she play with your ass or no?
No. She the duty hole is bad juju. No.
Do you keep it really clean?
Yeah, I know how to douche. Geez.
Okay.
So, I'm
have you ever been fucked in the ass?
If I throw it out there, she's going to think that I'm gay. And
well, again, this is and again, I'm not married, so I can't speak to what it's like. Me and Louis one time were talking, and he was married at the time, and he was complaining, I think, that his wife wouldn't suck his dick. So I was telling him, just be dominant, man. Fucking spank her and tell him to suck your dick. And he actually laughed at me. He goes, just shut up. You're not married. You don't know what you're talking about. and I have to say he was probably right, because it's just so unrealistic. My answer for that with a married couple who's got a married history for a long time. So to me, talking about it with someone is always important, no matter how long you're together. If you say, look, if you guys have a good marriage and a good sex life, if you go, this is important to me. And if she thinks you're gay, say, I'm not gay, because I like the idea of, wanting someone to put a strap-on dick in your ass, could it be an indicator that you're gay? Sure. Do I think it is? No. It means that you want to feel something that is kind of perverted, but you want a woman's energy to do it. It's like it's gayer for me for you to ask her to put on a mustache and kiss you passionately and put on a man's suit. That's gay.
Grow a beard.
Yeah, if you could you tape on a mustache and kiss me in a deep voice? You're probably a homosexual. Could you put on a dick and fuck my ass and then I'll kiss you, honey? You're just a good egg. So all you can do is talk to her about it. That's all you can do. I hope it works out. Again, that marriage dynamic, I don't know, but I have a different life than most of you guys do. I'm lucky to be a comic, so I can talk about what I want to talk about, and people kind of know what they're in for when they come see me. They know, all right, Jim's a pervert, he likes to be tinkled on, so I don't have to hide anything. But even in the times I've dated people who weren't as familiar with my act, it's a little nerve-wracking to have those talks. And that's me as a dirty comedian who's been public about being dirty. And once in a while, if I have to talk to somebody who I know isn't familiar with my comedy, I'm like, ugh, fuck, I don't want to drop this bomb on them. So I can only imagine what it's like to be married to someone and have to tell them that shit.
Appreciate it. And hey, and on another note, Jimmy, I'm 563 days sober, and it's awesome to have somebody like you that, man, you're almost like a little mini meeting for me on most days.
Well, thank you, sir. If there's one thing I want to help with, it's sobriety. And if there's another thing I want to help with, it's men unlocking their asshole doors. Those are the two things I want to inspire in folks. Get sober and get fucked when the duty comes out, for Pete's sake.
Hell yeah.
All right, buddy. Be good luck, okay?
Peace, brother. Thanks.
All right, pal. Hi, Doyle in Manhattan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hey, man.
Hey, I just received a Christmas card from my mother on Monday, and my mother has caused sexual abuse in all of my brothers and sisters, any children in our family, either directly or indirectly, with men she's either brought into the household, my father, everything.
Was she aware of it or no?
She's completely aware of it. She actually had it encouraged to be done with my nieces she adopted.
Was she, now again, not that there's no excuse, was she abused as a kid, do you know? Or do you not care?
I don't really care, but no, I don't think, the family says no. That's what I can't figure out, is why can she accept this abuse, this rape of children from I have two siblings who have committed suicide from this.
You really?
Yes. Luckily I'm now sober off of fentanyl for 12 years. I just finally got off of that this summer.
Let me ask you, do you have any contact with her at all?
No, and that's what I'm calling you about, because she can, especially this time of year, she really tries to have contact with anybody in the family.
Does she know you guys all hate her for this?
Oh, she knows we hate her emphatically. And she knows that if I had, or anyone else had any opportunity, she would be in prison with the last man she was with, who caused, for 10 years, he raped my nieces and nephews at will.
Wow. So is your question like, I mean, look, maybe she's totally fucking mentally ill. Maybe she's an abuse survivor and a narcissist, or who knows? Maybe she's a fucking, a psychotic. But what do you normally do when she reaches out?
I normally do nothing, but this time what I've done was, on the card she sent me, I sent it back asking her why she hasn't committed suicide yet.
Okay.
Leave the fucking family alone. She has no right to family. She gave that up years ago, and she belongs in prison, and why isn't she there?
Did she respond to that?
She should be getting a letter today. I'm actually hoping she commits suicide.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of anger, but I can't say it's not justified. I haven't gone through that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would be, and it's healthier to express it in a letter than it certainly is to go and do something stupid or rash. So look, man, if that's what works for you, I would never say, don't say that to her. Because if she really allowed these fucking pieces of shit to do this to you, look, whatever you got to say to make yourself feel okay, I'm not going to say you shouldn't say. But, or just ignore it. And I know that that's a hard thing to do, but how does it make you feel to send something back? Does it make you feel like angrier and like more tense, or like, whew, I let the air out of the balloon?
It let the air out of the balloon. I felt such relief, such comfort. I slept better for the last 2 nights than I have in years.
Did you ever consider, when she reaches out, totally just ripping the card up and throwing it out and going, she's a sick fucking mental patient, fuck her? Because sometimes what hurts people the most is the absolute lack of contact. Like, even though you're telling her, fuck you, you cunt, kill yourself, it's still contact from you. It's still contact as opposed to utter silence.
I give her no contact. Last contact I had with her is when I knew I was abused as a child. I knew all my family was abused as a child. And through my wife, I actually forgave her and accepted her back in the family. And then she did this to my nieces. And then I just completely gave up on her, and the rest of my family did. And actually, I found out she was living with one of my nieces, and she was, after her husband was in prison, was sending pictures of him in prison of the nieces and nephews.
What reason did she give, or excuse did she give?
She never gave an excuse. Her only excuse is, I lived a hard thing up. I don't care if you're sexually abused your whole life. I was too. You don't then go and then continually do it to the rest of your family.
Absolutely. Well, again, if she contacts you again, if you want to hurt her, I would suggest not contacting her. I think that if everyone literally gives her silence and never contacts her, look, she sounds like a lousy woman. And, she probably deserves to die alone. If she allowed this to happen to all these kids, then fuck her. She deserves to die alone. And in that case, as much as it might be hard to bite your tongue, realize that by contacting her, even if it's angry, even if it's fuck you, you are giving her some sort of family contact. And I think that it might not be as satisfying, but if you reach out and she reaches out and no one responds again, that might be the best way, just to let her go. Let her drift away with zero contact. Because that, to me, is true loneliness. So maybe that's how you punish her, if that's what you're looking to do. All right?
I just can't wait to see you in Grand Rapids. You're finally coming.
Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon. Take care. All right, bye. I don't know why I said I'll talk to you soon, like he and I text each other. We don't know each other. That's a fucking harsh... I've never heard that. I've heard of sexual abuse from women, but never a mother that did that kind of shit. Wow, that's shitty. Anthony in Seattle, what's up?
Hey,
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, yeah, so let's start off with, I broke up with my girlfriend because she went out on Halloween and decided to do ecstasy with a bunch of people she didn't know.
While you were dating her or no?
Oh, yeah, we were going out for a year at that point.
Okay.
And so we got into a big argument. We broke up. 2 weeks later, we started talking again. She came over hammered. She drove to my house, super drunk.
Okay.
which was crazy.
Sure.
And then we luckily didn't do anything together. And then 3 days after that, she tells me she got an STD from some dude she banged while we weren't talking for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong in thinking that I should be cutting all ties with her?
Well, what is it that you want from her? She's already showed you, like, if that's how little. I mean, you didn't talk for 2 weeks and she gets an STD. Do you think she was cheating on you?
You know, from a conversation that I had with her, I don't think she was cheating on me.
Well, do you want to talk to her still, or do you not want to talk to her?
I do.
Okay.
I have a lot of demons of my own, and I just heard a conversation with you about a guy saying he was like 500-something days sober and that kind of thing. I have those demons that follow me, but I have a chick that has like a couple fuck-ups. Am I wrong in feeling like she fucked up because she went out and did something crazy that I don't do because...
Well, if you guys were split, legitimate, if she did ecstasy and didn't fuck anyone, and then you guys were split for 2 weeks and she fucked someone, I mean, like, maybe that's not the nicest thing for her to do, but I wouldn't call her a cunt for that. If you're together and she's not cheating, that's all you can ask. So you want to give her another shot, give her another shot. I mean, if you enjoy talking to her and you think if you didn't break up that she wouldn't have fucked that guy, then just don't, then you can date her again. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, I don't know if you can trust her or not. Only you know that.
Yeah. No, I dig that. That makes sense.
But I don't think she's a cunt necessarily just because she went out and fucked somebody. Even though no boyfriend would like that, it's still, if you're broken up, you're broken up. Okay?
Yeah.
Just get her to tell you the story and jerk off to it. That's all. And plus, dude, the universe paid her back anyway. She got an STD. I mean, what are the odds of that happening, for fucking Christ's sake?
That's...
And you know what, dude? She didn't have to tell you. What'd she get?
No. She had the balls to tell me that, and that was amazing.
No, what did she have? What did she catch?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't want to ask.
Well, you should ask, because you might fuck her again.
Well, that's very true. But I think she just got, like, the clap or something that's curable.
All right, well, ask her. Just make sure. But that's cool.
It showed up in a couple days. So It wasn't something that was permanent, I don't think.
All right. Good luck, buddy, all right?
All right, man. Thank you.
Take care. We only got a couple minutes left. Amber in San Antonio, where I am going to perform. How are you? Oh, my fucking... That's my stupid house phone ringing. You hear that? We've made it through a lot of advice shows without my house phone ringing. And I'm not going to answer it. I don't know who it is. I don't care who it is. Hello, Amber. What's going on?
Hi. I just kind of wanted to weigh in on the man that called about Florida.
It's hard to hear you, sweetheart. Can you put the phone closer to your mouth, or if you're outside, maybe step inside?
Is that better?
Yeah, let me hear it. Good.
Okay. The same thing happened to me. I thought I was the victim. It was me that was abused, and I didn't tell my mom for 10 years. And it happened I was abused for several years, and I told her when I was 17.
Okay.
And she didn't, the first thing she did was ask me what I wanted, which was the right thing to do. I didn't want her to tell my dad. She insisted on it.
Who abused you?
I'm sorry?
Who abused you?
My cousin.
Okay. Was he your age or older?
No, he was, when I was 17 and he was 22.
Okay.
Yeah. So the worst part of it, other than my dad finding out and having to just, go through that, was I thought my dad was going to kill him, and my dad didn't. He didn't really react hardly at all. I mean, he went and talked to him, but he never asked him to say yes or no if he did it or not. And then everyone protected my grandmother because it happened at her house. And so for the rest of my life, I had to deal with him because everyone was protecting everyone else around me except for me.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that happens? And what was the reason for it? Did you ever get any resolution out of that?
Well, I mean, as far as them protecting my grandmother, they just didn't think she could handle it because it was her grandson who molested her granddaughter in her home.
Okay.
They didn't think my dad kept saying, well, he's still family, and we'll just have to deal with it and maneuver our lifetime around somebody else.
He's still family. What is this desire people have to keep things comfortable and not confront someone who's committing sexual abuse? I know it's really embarrassing and hard and humiliating, but I just don't understand what that motivation is to not, we're worried about protecting them or not upsetting somebody else. I just don't get it.
I don't have an answer for that either. It is difficult. I mean, I'm a mother now, and I have a 14-year-old son, and I don't even want to think of what I would do if someone had done something.
Sure.
But
well, where is this person now? Do you talk to him at all or no?
No, I don't talk to him. I did get resolution, which is amazing because most people don't.
What was the resolution?
Well, I finally had a reason to go to him because my grandmother that we shared was sick. And I had a reason to go to him because he was kind of a screw up and say, if you do anything to hurt her, blah, 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 I'll tell everybody what you did. And he didn't deny it for a second.
Okay.
I mean, I did it. I was screwed up and it happened to me and I did it to you. Most people don't ever get that, though.
He said that to you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good for you that you got the resolution. That's great. I got to wrap, sweetheart, just because we are out of time. But thank you for that call. I hope that helps our caller.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, a lot of the lines are full. I apologize. I couldn't get to all of you. But obviously, this advice show, it's a juggernaut. It's a juggernaut of help. All right, thank you. I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real.